Okay, class, let's practice with Unit 2 test review. Unit 2 was all about proportional relationships. The concepts that we're going to cover in this test are recognizing if ratios are proportional, setting up and solving proportions, analyzing tables to see if they are proportional, analyzing graphs to see if they are proportional, and figuring out unit rate, which is the best deal. Remember, there are different ways to see if ratios are proportional. The first way is to put the ratios in simplest form and then compare. For the first ratio, 2/12, if I divide the top and bottom both by 2, I'll put it in the simplest form of 1/6. Now I'm going to do the same thing with 6/36. If I divide both the numerator and the denominator by 6, that fraction or ratio will reduce to 1/6. And if I do the same thing for the ratio 4/24, if I divide both the numerator and the denominator by 4, I will put it in the simplest terms of 1/6. As you can see, they all reduce to the same ratio or fraction, so these ratios are proportional. The second way to see if the ratios are proportional is to convert each one of them into a decimal. To do that, remember that 2 divided by 12, that's what the fraction means or the ratio means, and I will get 0.166. If I divide 6 divided by 36, I'm going to get 0.1666. And if I divide 4 by 24, I'm going to get 0.1666. So as you can see, they're all proportional when we do the same method of decimals. Finally, we can also use cross-multiplying to see if our ratios are proportional. When we do that, we just cross-multiply. 12 times 6 is 72. 2 times 36 is 72. So those two are proportional. If we do 6 times 24, we get 144. If we do 36 times 4, we get 144. So we can see that these sets of ratios are also proportional. So you choose the method that works best for you. Our first practice question says, circle the set of ratios that are proportional. So which of these two sets of numbers or ratios are proportional? Well, I'm going to use the cross-multiplying method. So if we cross-multiply 6 times 40, we'll get 240. And 5 times 48, we'll also get 240. So this set is definitely proportional. Let's check the other set. 5 times 37 is 185. 7 times 25 is 175. These are not equal, so they are not proportional. Okay, our second question asks, which proportion is not made up of ratios equivalent to 3/8? Here's our nots. We have to be careful here. So the easiest way, I think, for this one is to turn them all into decimals. 3/8 is equal to 0.375 if we divide 3 divided by 8. If I look at 1 divided by 4, it's going to be 0.25. And 5 divided by 20 is going to be 0.25. These 0.25 are not equivalent to 0.375. So these are not equivalent to 3/8. Let's look at 9 divided by 24. If you do that on your calculators, you will get 0.375. And 18 divided by 48, you'll also get 0.375. So this set of proportions works. This one does not, and they want the one that does not. So this would actually be our answer. Question 3 asks, what value of k makes this proportion true? The only thing that's difficult about this question is the way it's worded. Really what they want you to do is just solve for k and see if A, B, or C is the answer that will make that proportion true. So let's just solve for k. For k, equals 8 times 2.5, which is 20. We have to divide each side by 4 to get k by itself, and we get k equals 5. So which value for k makes this true? Our answer would be C. Number 4 sounds more complicated than it is. What they ask is that a company packages 120 cans in 4 boxes. So let's write that. 120 cans in 4 boxes. Each box holds the same number of cans. Which equation shows the relationship between the number of boxes, B, and the number of cans, C? What we really need to do first is find out the unit rate. So let's find that out first. Let's find out how many cans in one box. So we wrote the proportion, 120 cans over 4 boxes equals how many cans, we don't know, we'll use C, in one box. So now let's cross multiply. 4C equals 120. If we divide each side by 4, because we want to know just the C, we'll see that C equals 30. Let's put that back into our equation. There are 30 cans in one box. So the number of cans is going to depend on how many boxes we have. The number of cans is going to depend on how many boxes we have. And for every box, you're going to have 30 cans. So we're looking for an equation that shows number of cans, C, equals 30 per box. 30 times the number of boxes. That's the kind of equation you're going to look to find in the answer. Question 5 says, the table shows the relationship between height and weight of kangaroos. Which equation shows the relationship between height and weight of kangaroos? Is it A, B, or C? Well, we did this one in class today, so let's practice. First, let's take a proportion and do height to weight, since that's what they give us. We'll say height to weight, H to W, equals, now let's look at our table. Here's a height, so I put that in height. Remember, different up and down, same across. Here's a weight, and I put that in under weight. Now let's solve it to see if I can get an equation that matches. I will get, when I cross multiply, 12W equals 36H. If I look here, all my answers are in W. I need to get W by itself. So let's get W by itself and divide each side by 12. And I will get, these will cancel out, and I will get W equals 36 divided by 12 is 3, and I still have my H. So W equals 3H, and I do see an answer that matches that right there. W equals 3H. Question 6 is more practice with unit rate and comparing unit rates to see which is the best deal. If I divide $4 by 6 peaches to see how much it is per peach, my answer is going to be 66 cents for 1 peach. Again, that's $4 divided by 6 peaches. If I do the same thing for $3 for 7 peaches, it'll come to 42 cents per peach. And if I do the same thing for $6 for 13 peaches, I'll get 46 cents per peach. Which is the best deal? $3 for 7 peaches. Okay, now we're getting into some word problems. Some friends are going to Cedar Point. Each ticket is $40. The number of friends, F, getting a $40 ticket is proportional to the total cost of the ticket. Which equation could be used to find the total cost of all tickets? For this one, we don't really even have to set a proportion. Let's just think about this logically. The total cost depends on how many people are going. So let's just write C for cost. The total cost depends on how many friends are going, And we know that it's $40 for one friend or one person to go. So your total cost is going to be $40 times the number of friends. That's all you need to do on this one. Okay, this is our last problem to review, and it's a little tricky because we first have to find area. A mom is making a new comforter for her bed. The comforter is going to be 6 feet long and 12 feet wide. The cost for fabric for the comforter is $1.75 per square foot. How much will it cost to make the comforter? Okay, here's a picture of our comforter. It's 6 feet long and 12 feet wide. We have to find out area first because the way the fabric is sold, it's sold per square foot. So we need to find out the square footage of our comforter. If you remember how area is, it's just the formula for area is length times width. So to find the area of our comforter, it's just 12 times 6, and the area is 72 square feet. Now we have to complete the proportion. The problem tells us it's $1.75 per 1 square foot. Well, what is the cost? So we'll put C for cost. If we have 72 square feet. Now we have to figure out the cost. So we cross multiply. Here's our equation. C equals $1.75 times 72. So the cost of the comforter is $126. And we did steps 4 and 5 really together. We wrote the equation and then we solved it. That's it. Go over these problems. Make sure you know how to do them by tomorrow. Good luck on the test.